Thing filming. Oh, okay. How's it going, guys? Music fan here. How you guys doing? And this particular video has been a long time coming, which means because this particular album that I'm about to talk about now has also been a long time coming. I'm talking about Traces, the very highly anticipated third studio album from journeyman Steve Perry. I have a copy of it right here. Forgive me of the very shitty quality. The Target version, and this one has the bonus tracks on it. Now, this particular video, I'm going to go in a very kind of rapid style, rapid fire, just talk about the songs kind of review. So later on, when I have more time, I'm going to talk about the album with a lot more details, and possibly the extra video talking about the extra bonus tracks. I mean, this is the Target version. So just going to go straight into it. So opening song, No Erasing. I talked about this song months ago when the single was initially released. The only different thing that I could say about this track now is that I love it even more now than I did then. I know some people have mentioned that that it sounds almost a little bit difficult to listen to because of Steve's very haggard voice and the very kind of rock upbeat production of this song. To which I say, yeah, I can understand that kind of feeling, but for me, like, this song is purely Steve Perry. Like, the melodies and the vocals and the harmonies are still kind of like laden in that Steve Perry R&B influenced manner. So that's something different I can say about No Erasing. Otherwise, I still love the song. I always move the glasses because of the glare. And we're still here. I haven't talked about this song yet, but what I can say about this is that I love this song. Lyrically, it's one of Steve Perry's bests. I mean, his voice carries immensely in that particular song. Lyrically, it's amazing. Spoiler, but it's almost kind of like a lyrical sequel of sorts to Don't Stop Believing, his biggest hit off of Journey. Yeah, we're still here. It's a song I love immensely. Most of all, a much more subdued kind of record. I mean, a subdued kind of song. It's very achingly sad and very emotional, but a number of the songs off of this record, the majority of this record, is very emotional, very influenced by his loss of his love named Kelly Nash, who asked Steve Perry that if something were to happen to her, like that, promising Steve Perry to her that he wouldn't go back into his isolation that he has been under in 20 years or so, and he agreed to that. So most of all is very just kind of heavy on the emotion, as the other songs off this record. Oh, that's right, No More Crying. The other song which I really love off this record. I mean, it's a lot more soul, a lot more kind of bluesy orientated kind of song, which I love. And the guitar solo in that is just very great. And it's just very particular in its melody. And it almost reminds me of one of the members, Richard Patrick of the band Filter came in board. He wasn't actually in this record, or neither any of the members of Filter, but it almost sounds like that in a way. But Steve Perry, again, does a great job on this song. In the Rain, very achingly emotional. Like, it when I heard this song for the first time, I was kind of like, oh, this is very sad. But I hear it repeatedly now for the last couple of months, and it's very achingly poignant and very sad, but in a very kind of powerful way. And this song is very achingly sad, but it's ever with that Steve Perry passion in his vocals and his performance. Despite the years in his voice and his age, he still sings this with immense passion and conviction. So In the Rain reminds me of that. Sunshine's Gray, one of the most rocking songs off of here is Purely Rock, which I of course love. I think this is the one song which I think more than others would give credence to some listeners that Steve Perry's voice hasn't really aged that well, and that it conflicts with the upbeat rock of this particular song. They could say the argument about Nora Racing, and I kind of see it too from that vantage point. But his voice, his vocal performance hasn't deteriorated enough to the point where it really disturbs me or anything like that. He still carries on very immensely with this particular song, as the rest of the other tracks off this record. And I love the sound. I love the rock presence of this song. And Steve Perry, again, his vocal performance on this song, just straight up classic. That's Sunshine's Gray for me. You Belong to Me, another emotional song. The lyric that pops out in my mind when I hear this song, or when I think of this song, is, even though we're miles apart, you belong to me. Simple but very effective lyric in that particular song. And again, the music is very mournful, it's very sad, but it's also powerful as well. Easy to Love. This song is probably the most varied of all the tracks off this record. It has almost a bit of a reggae feel to it, but it's not too. It doesn't go into the vein of Bob Marley per se. He could do that easily, at least I think. But this song is really cool sounding. It has this very reggae kind of feel to it, this atmosphere of it, and it's fun to listen to. I really like this particular song. It's probably the most loosest of all the other tracks off this record, from my vantage point at least. I Need You, another emotional song. This whole record is emotional, to say the least. And the last track, We Fly. I didn't get this song at first initially, with Steve Perry ending things on a very kind of hushed and quiet note, but minus the pun. But this song has revealed itself to me, and now it is purely emotional ending to this album. Again, you go back to Kelly Nash, and that's what this song evokes to me, like a very hushed but emotional console to Kelly Nash, and saying that we fly. It's a very emotional song. Overall, this record I would give a 4.5 out of 5, for me at least. Definitely, this is still a great, fantastic record, a long time coming. And Steve Perry, even though his voice may not reach the high-pitched notes that he used to be in his prime, it's like wine. It gets better with age, and Steve Perry, nonetheless, comes out on top with this record. So, 4.5 out of 5 for this record. So, this is the short version. I will come out later when I have the time with a more in-depth review. But this is Steve Perry, Traces, Mr. Music Fan. I will see you guys next time. Take care.